their support. All right, Anthony, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. And that is it for us for now. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Liz Cho. World News Tonight with David Muir is coming up next. Eyewitness News returns tonight at 11 o'clock. Have a great night. Enjoy that beautiful weather out there and the sunset. We'll see you tonight at 11 o'clock.
Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air, Vladimir Putin's revenge on Ukraine. President Biden talking with President Zelensky. Russia unleashing at least 84 missiles and 24 drones on Ukraine. The deadly bombings targeting at least 10 major cities, including the capital of Kyiv. Tonight, the video showing a massive explosion at a pedestrian bridge in Kyiv. A person walking near the blast, then running away. A missile coming down near a playground. Tonight, Putin saying he personally ordered the attacks following the bombing over the weekend of that key Russian bridge, a strategic bridge linking Russia to Crimea, a bridge Putin had personally visited when it opened. Tonight, President Biden speaking with President Zelensky and what the U.S. is now saying. Britt Clennett in Ukraine, Cecilia Vega live at the White House. Back here in the U.S., the horrific scene, the rookie police officer fired from the force after shooting an unarmed teenager who was in his car eating a burger at McDonald's. The disturbing body camera video showing the officer opening the car door and then opening fire. The uproar tonight involving the Los Angeles City Council. The council president now resigning as president 24 hours after a leaked recording. What she is heard saying about a white councilman's black son. Other council members also heard on that audio. The urgent search tonight for a missing 14-year-old girl in Boulder, Colorado. Last seen with two older men at a high school football game. The alleged messages from another state to her friends and what authorities are now saying tonight. The concern at several major airports in the U.S. after hackers based in Russia targeted LaGuardia, LAX, O'Hare, Hartsfield-Jackson, and Atlanta, hacking their websites. And if they can do this, what else can they do? Gio Benitez standing by. The images out of Iran tonight, the deadly protests growing now 4 weeks in, and now workers at oil refineries in Iran joining the protesters after the death of a 22-year-old woman taken into custody by the morality police. Here at home, the missing boaters fighting off sharks more than 24 hours until the Coast Guard arrives. The trial of Harvey Weinstein in Los Angeles now underway, the high-profile name who will testify against him. And your health tonight, what they're now saying about this upcoming flu season and when to best get a flu shot.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to start another week with all of you at home. And we begin tonight with Russia's revenge on Ukraine after a key bridge connecting Russia to Crimea was blown up this weekend. Tonight, Russia responding with deadly bombings across at least 10 major cities inside Ukraine, including the capital of Kyiv. Putin saying he personally ordered the strikes. Of course, this is what drove Putin to act. The explosion this weekend, videos circulating online showing that key bridge connecting Russia to Crimea blown up, the explosion ripping apart major sections of that bridge. The massive bridge, 12 miles long, left burning, the smoke seen for miles. It was a bridge Putin was very proud of, personally visiting the bridge in 2018 when it opened. Tonight, what Putin says he personally ordered in response, at least 84 missiles, 24 drones across Ukraine. These are images from the city of Dnipro, a massive explosion just in front of that car there. In Kyiv tonight, a missile targeting this pedestrian bridge, a tourist site, a person running for their life there. And the images tonight of a playground right in the capital left smoldering. And look at the map tonight, multiple cities targeted across Ukraine, and we learned President Biden has now spoken with President Zelensky. What was promised on that call, and what does the U.S. believe could be coming next? ABC's Britt Clennett reporting from inside Ukraine tonight.
Tonight, Russia unleashing one of the most intense and widespread aerial attacks since the start of the war. The coordinated barrage unfolding during the busy morning rush. 84 missiles and 24 drones targeting at least 10 cities from one end of Ukraine to the other, including unprecedented strikes in the heart of the capital. Residents in Kyiv racing into shelters, air raid sirens blaring.
You can see where those windows have been blown out of that building. A massive crater just left here by the impact of the missile in the middle of the intersection.
Terrified residents screaming in horror. At least 12 people killed, more than 80 injured across the country. This man bleeding and shocked, his hands shaking. Strikes on critical energy infrastructure knocking out power to major cities. Coupled with attacks on civilian areas with no obvious military targets.
The explosion here ripping out part of the ground of this park, not far from a playground where kids come to enjoy themselves. This is not of strategic military importance. This is a clear civilian attack.
Here, a massive explosion near a pedestrian bridge. You can see a person walking just feet away from the blast, then running away. This young woman recording a video while walking down the street when suddenly a missile explodes nearby. See the sheer terror on her face, her voice cracking. Residents horrified.
I'm still shaking.
You're still shaking.
I can see you're still shaking.
Yeah,
because it's so scary. You know, you can drive to work and boom, and you're gone.
Tonight, a defiant President Zelensky releasing this video from the damaged streets of Kyiv, calling the Russians terrorists, promising a quick recovery. Tonight, Putin saying he personally ordered the mass missile strikes as payback for the weekend's major bridge attack in Crimea, calling it a terrorist act hours before today's strikes. That bridge, the only link between Russian-occupied Crimea and Russia, a critical supply route for Russian troops and pivotal symbol of Russia's illegal claims to Crimea. Putin personally celebrating that connection between Russia and Crimea back in 2018. And back in Kyiv tonight, residents taking shelter in the subway, defiantly singing Ukraine's national anthem.
Just extraordinary reporting under very difficult circumstances tonight. Britt Clennett with us live tonight from the capital of Kyiv. Britt, that young woman walking down the street recording when the missile hits just right there near her, just extraordinary. And the screams of the Ukrainian people in all of those videos that you showed us tonight. You saw firsthand the destruction caused by Russia's retaliation. Tonight, Vladimir Putin threatening more attacks.
Yeah, David, these are the biggest attacks here in the capital since the war began. These happened, we must remember, during the morning rush hour, killing innocent people. And with Putin under pressure at home, Kyiv remains on alert tonight. And there are real fears, David, of more attacks to come as Ukraine advances on the battlefield. David?
Britt Clennett leading us off tonight. Britt, our thanks to you and the team. Please be safe. What's been an unsettling 24 hours there. And as you heard Britt report tonight, President Biden did speak with President Zelensky today. Let's get right to our chief White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, live at the White House tonight. Cecilia, what have you learned about the call and, of course, what U.S. authorities believe could be coming next year?
Yeah, well, David, on this call, the number one topic we have learned was air defense. Zelensky continuing these calls for more aid, and President Biden pledging continued aid to Ukraine, including air defense systems. Now, the U.S. was already slated to deliver these sophisticated surface-to-air missiles to Ukraine next month. These are more advanced weapons than those shoulder-fired ones that the U.S. has been giving to Ukraine. As for what's next, really the big question facing the White House and the U.S. right now is whether this latest attack pressures the U.S. to send more aid or even more advanced weapons to Ukraine. David, I have just learned from a source that President Biden will attend an emergency virtual G7 meeting tomorrow. This main topic of this meeting is going to be Vladimir Putin, that attack, and increasing pressure on Moscow from these allies. President Zelensky also is slated to attend, David, but tonight here at this White House, across this administration, there is widespread condemnation of that attack.
Well, you heard Cecilia there, late reporting tonight. President Biden will be on a meeting with G7 leaders tomorrow on all of this. Cecilia Vega with the breaking news. Thank you to you and Britt Clennett tonight on Ukraine. In the meantime, we move on to the other news this Monday night, into a horrific scene in San Antonio. Tonight, a rookie police officer has been fired after opening fire on an unarmed teenager who was eating a burger in his car at a McDonald's. That teen is now fighting for his life after being shot multiple times. The police body cam video showing the officer approaching the car, opening the door, and then opening fire on the teen as that teenager moved backwards a little. Tonight, the officer off the force, and the police union says it will not defend him. Here's ABC's John Quinones now.
Tonight, officials in San Antonio are investigating the conduct of a now fired police officer after he shot an unarmed 17-year-old who was sitting in a car outside a fast food restaurant.
He had no weapon. He had a burger in his hand, you know.
According to authorities, on October 2nd, rookie officer James Brennan was responding to a call at a McDonald's when he turned his attention to a different incident.
I got a vehicle over here that fled from me the other day.
Police say the officer believed the maroon car in the parking lot had fled from him during an attempted stop the night before, but the vehicle was not related to that encounter. Eric Cantu and a female passenger found sitting inside.
Get out of the car.
Body camera video capturing the officer as he opens the door without any warning. Brennan reporting that he was then hit by the open door as Cantu reversed. He opens fire, shooting at the car multiple times as it drove away.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Cantu found with multiple gunshot wounds and then placed under arrest for evasion and aggravated assault. The female passenger uninjured. Officer Brennan was later fired by the San Antonio Police Department for violation of departmental tactics, training, and procedures.
Some of those shots were fired as this young man was driving away. It didn't appear to me that this officer's life was in danger.
Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez dropped the charges against Cantu.
And you saw that footage, and what did you think?
It was an outrage when I saw that.
David, tonight that district attorney's promising a full and independent investigation to determine if charges should be filed against that police officer, saying he will take this case to a grand jury if necessary. David?
John Quinones reporting from Texas tonight. John, thank you. Now to Los Angeles and to the uproar involving the Los Angeles City Council. Tonight, the City Council president stepping down from her role as president after a leaked recording what she is heard saying about a white councilman's black son. Other council members could also be heard on that audio. Here's Irene Shaw.
Tonight, a bombshell rocking Los Angeles City Council. Nury Martinez stepping down from her role as president just 24 hours after a recording of racist remarks sparked outrage. That audio, first posted on Reddit, captures Martinez discussing redistricting with other Latino city officials when she starts talking about the black son of fellow council member Mike Bonin after they attended an MLK Day parade.
And then there's this white guy with this little black kid who's misbehaved. The kid is bouncing off the effing walls on the floor, practically tipping it over. There's nothing you can do to control him. Parece changuito.
Which translates to, he looks like a little monkey.
They're raising him like a little white kid, which I was like, this kid needs a beat down. Like, let me take him around the corner and then I'll bring him back.
That council member, Mike Bonin, writing in a statement, "We are appalled, angry, and absolutely disgusted," calling for Nury to step down and resign from office. Martinez's comments igniting a firestorm and protests outside her home. Hours later, resigning as council president, saying in a statement, "In a moment of intense frustration and anger, I let the situation get the best of me and I hold myself accountable for these comments, and for that, I'm sorry." Martinez has resigned as president, but tonight there are calls for her to step down from the city council. At the time, she was talking to 3 Latino Democrats. So Mike Bonin, the father of that little boy, he wants to see more resignations, saying he is disgusted by the other ugly racist comments and the tacit acceptance of those remarks. David.
Zoreen Shaw tonight in L.A. Zoreen, thank you. There is an urgent search underway tonight across multiple states for a missing 14-year-old girl from Boulder, Colorado. Tonight, we're learning more about the alleged messages from another state to her friends. Here's Mola Lengi.
Tonight, an emotional plea from the parents of Chloe Campbell, a 14-year-old Colorado girl who vanished over 10 days ago.
Honey, we love you so much. You are so precious to us. We just can't bear the thought of you being gone any longer.
According to police, Chloe was last seen on September 30th at a Boulder High School football game. Her parents say Chloe's friends saw her with 2 men who appeared suspicious. With the teen also phoneless, the family launching a frantic search.
David was searching all around here tirelessly, and then we ramped up the searches over the weekend.
A tireless search countless parents make. According to the most recent statistics, there were more than 337,000 entries for missing children in the U.S. in 2021. Tonight, both Chloe's parents and police say she could be in danger.
The tactics of traffickers is to prey on young girls that are at high risk, and Chloe has been struggling since the pandemic.
Well, police say Chloe's friends have received messages from her social media accounts claiming that she is safe in Arizona. But investigators say they cannot confirm that those messages are actually coming from Chloe, David.
All right, Mola Lengi in Denver. Thank you. There is concern tonight at several major airports in the U.S. after hackers based in Russia targeted LaGuardia, LAX O'Hare, and Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta, hacking their websites. Here's Gio Benitez.
Tonight, some of the nation's biggest airports are scrambling to protect their websites after a coordinated attack by hackers who officials tell ABC News were operating inside Russia. The first so-called denial of service attack hitting LaGuardia Airport's website at 3 a.m. this morning. Then America's busiest, Atlanta's Hartsfield, LAX, and O'Hare. More than a dozen airport websites hit with a denial of service attack, essentially jamming the websites with data.
Airports have always been a target of interest for these adversaries.
While no flights were affected, experts say the group claiming credit for the hits, known as KillNet, has stepped up cyber attacks on NATO allies since Russia's invasion of Ukraine began, and claimed responsibility for taking down a U.S. Congress website in July and several state government websites last week.
This is the type of actor that we are very worried about carrying out a destructive attack, but that's not the case here.
And David, airport operations were not affected, neither was ticketing. But tonight, federal officials are taking these cyber attacks very seriously. David.
As they should, Gio Benitez. Gio, thank you. To Iran tonight and the deadly protests growing there after the death of a 22-year-old woman taken into custody by the morality police. Tonight here, the new turn. Workers at oil refineries in Iran joining the protesters. Here's Maggie Rulli.
Protests gripping Iran for nearly 4 weeks tonight, spreading to the refineries critical to the country's oil and gas industry. Workers joining anti-government protests sparked by the death of Mahsa Amini. The 22-year-old died in custody of the morality police after an arrest for allegedly wearing her hijab improperly. Across the country, women taking to the streets and risking their lives. This group confronting the president of Iran who visited a university, telling him to get lost. Over the weekend, hackers breaking into a broadcast of Iranian state television, flashing an image of the supreme leader surrounded by flames, echoing the chants of protesters. Woman, life, freedom. And with protests showing no sign of slowing down. Iran's judiciary chief proposing a dialogue, saying if we've made mistakes, we can reform them. But activists swiftly rejecting that idea. The group Iran Human Rights says at least 185 citizens have been killed since the protest began, 19 of them children, and the toll only growing. 16-year-old vlogger and protester Sarina Esmailzadeh died after being beaten in the head with batons, according to Amnesty International. And the mother of 16-year-old Nika Shakarami says she was seen burning her headscarf before she died at the hands of security forces. Iran blaming both deaths on suicides.
And David, Iranian officials are now warning that any protesters arrested going forward will be held until trial and are facing what they're calling severe sentences. But David, activists we speak to on the ground all say the same thing. They refuse to stay silent. Just today, we spoke with one teenager who told us that when she's out there protesting with her classmates, she feels no fear. David.
It's been extraordinary. Maggie Rulli in London, thank you. When we come back in the U.S., boaters in the water for more than 24 hours fighting off sharks with their hands, waiting to be rescued. And important news tonight on the flu shot for you.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
If you're 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like COPD, asthma, or diabetes, you may be at an increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 20 is approved in adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most common side effects were pain and swelling at the injection site, muscle pain, fatigue, headache, and joint pain.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
That's why I chose to get vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Because just one dose can help protect me from pneumococcal pneumonia.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20 today.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity.
wait. Now it's easy to help protect yourself. Identity theft protection starts here at LifeLock.com.
Age is just a number, and mine's unlisted.
Try Boost High Protein with 20 grams of protein for muscle health versus 16 grams in Ensure High Protein. Boost High Protein also has key nutrients for immune support. Boost High Protein.
Listen, I'm done settling because this is my secret. I put it on once, no more touch-up.
Secret has pH balancing minerals, and it helps eliminate odor instead of just masking it. So pull it in close. Secret works.
It's Girls Trip. Wonderful time.
Get fast relief of your worst allergy symptoms, including nasal congestion, with powerful Claritin D, so you can breathe better, feel the clarity, and make today the most wonderful time of the year. Claritin D.
Tonight, the Coast Guard rescuing 3 boaters from sharks off Louisiana. Their fishing boat sinking Saturday, fighting off sharks for more than 24 hours before being rescued by the Coast Guard. 2 of the boaters bitten on their hands, all treated for hypothermia. Disgraced producer Harvey Weinstein's new sex assault trial in Los Angeles. Jury selection underway. The wife of Governor Newsom is expected to be among 9 women testifying against him. Jennifer Siebel Newsom claims Weinstein attacked her when she was starting as an actress and filmmaker. Weinstein has pleaded not guilty. When we come back, we have news on the flu shot tonight.
Type 2 diabetes? Discover the power of 3 in the Ozempic Trizone.
In my Ozempic Trizone, I lowered my A1C, CV risk, and lost some weight.
Ozempic provides powerful A1C reduction. In studies, the majority of people reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it. Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events, such as stroke, heart attack, or death, in adults also with known heart disease. And you may lose weight. Adults lost up to 14 pounds. Ozempic isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take Ozempic if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrineoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Gallbladder problems may occur. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Join the millions already taking Ozempic. Ask your healthcare provider about the Ozempic Trizone.
You may pay as little as $25 for a 3-month prescription.
I'll remember that chapter of my life forever. We laughed. We cried. We protected that Progressive Home and Auto bundle day and night. We left our blood, sweat, and tears on that yard. Well, Jamie did anyway.
Red Lobster's finer points of fun dining. How to endless shrimp. Step 1, greet your shrimp. Step 2, bid your shrimp farewell. Repeat. Ultimate endless shrimp is back with new Parmesan bacon shrimp scampi. Welcome to fun dining.
I'm still riding toward what's next, even with higher stroke risk due to AFib not caused by a heart valve problem. So if there's a better treatment than warfarin, that's the trail I want to take. Eliquis. Eliquis reduces stroke risk better than warfarin and has less major bleeding than warfarin. Eliquis has both.
Don't stop taking Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. Get help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
The #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner. Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
Personalized financial advice from Ameriprise can do more than help you reach your goals.
We can make this work.
It can help you reach them with confidence. No wonder more than 9 out of 10 of our clients are likely to recommend us. Ameriprise Financial. Advice worth talking about.
A dental tool is round for a reason. So is an Oral-B. Round cleans better by surrounding each tooth. So clean, you'll feel like you just left the dentist.
What you waiting for?
Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
Come and get it.
Well, to the index and health officials tonight, warning of a potentially severe flu season, urging Americans to get their flu shot before the end of this month, recommended for everyone 6 months and older. When we come back here, the pilot and the announcement that definitely got everyone's attention.
Vehicles are so smart these days they can practically order their own ultimate protection from WeatherTech. Floor liners are engineered to fit perfectly to catch and hold spills, messes, and muddy humans. Seat protectors defend against dirty clothes. Cargo liner provides full protection in the back. And Cup Phone makes sure the phone is secure and handy. Order your premium American-made products at WeatherTech.com.
When you live with moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, your day can be full of reminders of your condition. You weren't made for UC or Crohn's, but Entyvio is. In clinical trials, Entyvio helped many people achieve long-term relief and remission. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. Although unlikely, a risk of PML, a rare, serious, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, experience frequent infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Liver problems can occur. Ask your doctor about Entyvio.
Entyvio, Entyvio, Entyvio.
Does your plug-in fade too fast? Try Febreze Fade to Fi Plug. It has built-in technology to digitally control how much scent is released to smell first day fresh for 50 days.
La 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 la.
This is our premium platinum coverage map, and this is Consumer Cellular's map. See the difference?
No, I don't see the difference. Do you?
Well, that one was purple. Exactly. That's our premium.
What does that mean?
I think it means it costs more. That's what makes it premium.
That doesn't make sense, does it?
No, but it is premium.
I'd just go with Consumer Cellular.
Thank you.
Got the same. Get the same coverage at half the cost. Save up to $250 a year on all the talk, text, and data you need. Consumer Cellular.
There's nothing like volunteering at the fire department.
There's nothing like hitting the waves.
But with my moderate to severe eczema, it hasn't always been easy.
Since my skin was so irritated and itchy.
And even worse with all my gear on.
Now, I'm staying ahead of my eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion. And Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema. So adults can have long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a powerful thing.
Ask your eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal your skin from within.
Welcome back, Chief.
Dr. Murphy, you saved my life.
You're welcome.
I can do all the duties of chief surgeon.
You okay?
No.
The Good Doctor, new tonight on ABC.
Finally, the pilot, the passenger, and the surprise. Gerald Oldham, a mother of 3 from Vineyard, Utah, has been battling stage 2 breast cancer. Through hair loss and chemo, her family with her every step of the way. Through treatment, they would come up with ways to encourage her, and they told her they would send her to Hawaii when she beats this. Well, she did, ringing the cancer bell, boarding the flight, the Southwest crew hearing about Gerald, and just listen to the pilot.
I would like to add a special welcome to a special guest on today's flight. We have a passenger who's headed to Hawaii with us today to celebrate her victory over late-stage breast cancer. To her please join me in giving her, Gerald Oldham, a round of applause.
And right here tonight,
Hi, David.
Gerald on that moment.
They didn't know me, but they were all just, I could just feel the love. I could feel the support.
Tonight, Gerald and her message.
You're not alone. There are so many people out there who are rooting for you, and that helps you to be so much stronger than you ever thought you could be.
And we're rooting for you, Gerald. Love the smile. Good night.
It's a flood, and Kathy Hochul isn't up to